Welcome to Kickstarter Radio 102.4, and I'm your host today, and we're looking at Galactic Cruise. Now, my thoughts on this is a little mixed, actually. We'll find out when we go down, shall we? Alright. Build and launch shuttles to send guests on luxurious space vacations in this Euro medium heavy board game. I love the concept, right? The theme, I like the theme. It's interesting, the art on the box, when there is vacations to the moon, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, will we still use this art? Will it be revived? Doubt it. It's just going to be pictures of the planet, isn't it? Real images of what the holiday would be like, probably. But hey. Now let's go down then, because for me it's got a little bit of retailitis. Real deal. It's got fantastic quotes from great designers. Shem Phillips says it's a true masterpiece and a labour of love. Ooh, that's a great quote, isn't it? This picture that they've used on Kickstarter, I don't know if it's a Kickstarter thing or whatever, but I can't read who they are on the box here. I can see Ian O'Toole. It's got Ian O'Toole all over it, hasn't it? Like, Ian himself has actually made these tiles here in the centre. It's a little bit 3D, as they're supposed to be raised up, but they're supposed to be buildings. That's kind of nice. And he's definitely used a little bit more colour. It's like he's bought a new section of felt tips. I like this kind of deck underneath. This deck table that they've got. That'd be an interesting table mount. Welcome to your galactic cruise. Right, so here's the team. I think when they do this, I'd love to know, like, you know, how many years have you been working on it? 3 designers, they must have always had arguments. You know, it's an interesting philosophy when you've got more than one designer on a board game to see how they ink out the designs and how they test things and how one fights to leave something in and then eventually the other 2 people fold, or, you know, there's these kind of tug-of-war decisions that goes on. It often makes the game heavier as certain things get pushed through because, for example, one designer is adamant his design needs to go through and he will keep iterating on it until the others decide it's okay. Which means that any bad game designs get sieved out of the way. Like they'll be removed, omitted because of this. Each designer is basically giving the green light to things to go through. So unless you've got 3 bad eggs, Vitel Lacerda, who is more, because, you know, it's like as good as that first quote is from, it's disappeared. That first quote, I don't know where it's disappeared to. Maybe it's gone on holiday to the moon. Vitel Lacerda, this is the guy. This is the wheelhouse of Vitel, isn't it? He's saying it's a magnificent Euro game. The action selection system is unique, and building the spaceships and sending them into space is incredibly fun, thematic, rewarding. Right, well, you know, that's a shining recognition. If you've got any Vitel Lacerda games on your shelf, this should probably get your blood boiling, shouldn't it? It's solo, interesting, and age 14. Is that really needed? 90 to 150 minutes. 150? That's pushing the 3 hours, isn't it? When you've got 4 people. Ooh, that's definitely crunchy. So the CEO has retired, or it says will be retiring in 3 years, and you're a steadfast supervisor that could be taking his place. So there you go. It certainly looks interesting when you put it on the table, and your player board looks crazy, doesn't it? Unless you've got fans of Euro games, if they come to the table, like, it's certainly not gateway friendly, is it? And I mean, generally with my Euro games, they're so thematic, it helps. And here, even though there is a theme, you really need to get the rulebook out to kind of teach them all about their player board. It looks so deep. Oi. Anyway, acquire new blueprints and build them into your shuttles. Does that not sound worrying that the shuttle design's not finished yet? Like you're going on an inaugural cruise into space? They always say don't go on an inaugural cruise because most of the things that could be broken are not fully featured. Yeah, these blueprints are adding entertainment rooms, aren't they? They've got, like, it's hard to see here, but sports arena. I don't know, I can't really see that. Pizza world. So you're basically designing your own little cruise ship and you're putting your components on it. Does sound good. Like that. Interact with markets of resources and special agendas. These market resources, they're just kind of named like connections, extra blueprints, and it's fairly dry, isn't it? Those names of the resources and stuff. And it just looks like spreadsheet material. You know what I mean? It's like there's no art there or anything. It's kind of plain Jane, isn't it? Build developments between departments to increase your action selection, because you only have 2 meeples at the beginning, don't you? And look, you're actually booting somebody out here. So is that a little bit of take that here? Get out of it! And again, the severe iconography here. Oh, the hammer with a spanner, the guy with the plus on it, you know. I guess if you are, you've come down the line of Vitalis, this is all par the course for you, right? But for anyone who's coming into these games, it is pretty daunting. And you need a big ass player card cheat sheet, don't you? Schedule an advertised cruise to attract the right guests. I like that they have this, the 3 type of customers. This is quite good, and you can kind of market them out. On the right is the people that's waiting to go on the thing, right? So this part of the board's kind of neat and cool, I like it. And the meeples themselves have been designed by Ian O'Toole, and they refuse to upgrade them in any way. No, this is Ian O'Toole's special design of the meeple. It's true. Launch a shuttle. Reap the rewards. You'd hope you get rewards for launching it. I don't get the bit where so this is your player board anyway, isn't it? So when it goes, but you're still following its progress. Track your cruise's process while gaining bonuses, unlocking upgrades. Now, on the board here, this is the tracking of the holidays and things like that. You can see them in, like, rovers on Mars, maybe, and there's, like, another one there on a purple planet. What are they doing? I don't know. In a swimming, it's a pool. So the holidays go on these excursions then, and you get bonuses from that. That's kind of interesting. That's on the player board though, isn't it? This part of your playboard will not be activated unless you send a rocket off to these locations. Accomplish the company's goals to outperform your opponent. So this is basically tracks, to track everybody's, what they're doing, to see how good everybody's doing. And one of the problems with these type of games is that when someone gets ahead, it's very difficult to catch them up. That'd be a concern. I do like the board though, because Ian O'Toole has put these blue buildings here, and he's gone to he's put in the green grass and the trees. That's like a really nice part of the board. So yeah, I think out of all the Ian O'Toole's games, I think this one's my favourite looking, certainly. Right, they've got quotes aplenty. They've got so much Kickstarter presence on YouTube. Rulebooks there, the reference book, a supplemental information such as tips and in-depth clarifications is housed in the company records. Preview the player aid here. Look at this. For questions that arise during the workday at Galactic Cruise, your employee handbook will be an invaluable resource. So it's an actual book. Holy smoke. I guess that gives people something to do in between their turns. So look at this thing. All right, you can play it already on your poison of choice. Now, so here's my worry is, because there's no stretch goals, 89 bucks on Kickstarter plus shipping, you're going to get this cheaper, aren't you? This could actually arrive on Amazon and you get free shipping. That's what I'm thinking. So there's my first concern out the gate. Now, there is an expansion here that'll also be on retail. What's the difference between these two? Expansion 1, Expansion 2. So, I don't know why they've got two pledges. Like, do you want the advancement expansion or do you want the accommodations expansion? That's strange to have those two, isn't it? And upper management, this is giving you both of these. So I think this is what they're saying. You're not going to be able to get the base and the two expansions for 120 at retail. So is this what they're saying? There's more. Now, the future CEO, which is 129, has these deluxe bits. It's going to have acrylic money, ad tokens that are going to replace the punchboard money and ad tokens. So that is the Kickstarter goodness. That almost looks like that's going to be like a little retail box. Now, they have confirmed that all of this here fits in the main box. Like, how big is it? This investor thing here is to get future games from this company. They're obviously into the thematic, heavy games. A shareholder with the company. You get prototypes of their games. On the board of directors, look at this pledge. A board member. Game trays do look nice, though. They're in that kind of rocket form. I like the way that game trays have literally gone in the next generation of tooling for their things. So you basically get trays that really go with the games, because they're super cool. Jeremy Howard says, I have to say, this game, for me, could be one of my favourite Euros in recent years. without a doubt. If you are a medium weight or heavyweight fan, this could be one of your favourite games. There's lots of it could be's in there, isn't it? So, you know, that's what I'm kind of worried about, is that it's super retail bound and you'll get it for cheaper with no problems. That's what I'm kind of concerned with. You know, look at these cubes. They've got retailitus on. They could have been clear. They could have been sparkly. You know, so for me, I don't get it. It's not boiling my blood like it would be if it's a Kickstarter that speaks to me. But if you're Vitel Lacerda fan and you're like, you know, Tool, maybe it's boiling your blood, but I'm just not seeing it. Alex, a game from a first-time publisher has no right to look and play this good. Kinson Key Games put in the work, and it shows. They're a bit dry, these comments. Maybe these comments are for the people that like these dryish games. Expansion 1. This is going to replace... Is it going to It's going to replace all of your blueprints in the base game. Instead of having half cabins in the middle of each segment, these blueprints have half cabins in one of the three places: left, center, or right on top, on the tops and bottoms. In order to build a segment into a shuttle, it must make a full cabin with other previously installed segments. Right, okay, so it's basically there's more complexity with these tiles. If you throw them in, it adds weight. This advancement module, this is the technology tiles. An upgradable version of the technology tiles from the base game. Right, so that's good, isn't it? That means there's like an extra level. So that's really needed, isn't it? But this is coming in this box, the advancements, isn't it? So the technology tiles sounds good. These are the things that I'm like, it just looks like it's from a spreadsheet. Look at that space elevator. That would look incredible. Flight target indicator. Please show me the cabin of the rocket. Targeted advertising. That'd look lovely. Very similar to the board box. Self-piloting system. Show me the index reservatory. What? Give me pictures. This is all what's called form. Function before form, isn't it? That's what this is. It's designed to fit specifically on the board in a small way. It's function over form. And it never even goes to form. It's function. That's what it is. Function without form. That's what I mean by dry, boring. There's no real push to put real art on this, and it's all this Ian O'Toole art here. You can see it's very, very, very not interesting. I do like the stuff that he's done with the boarded stuff, but these bits are super dry. So you get expert worker tiles, you get more agenda cards, you get upgrade tiles, you get a cockpit and engine tiles, you get all that. It's the upgrade box. You'd want to get it, of course. Accommodations. No. This module includes 48 blueprints that replace all of them in the base game. These blueprints all feature a unique action or a bonus. Hey! So the base game is medium weight, and you throw in these expansions that replace the content and make it heavier. That's what it is. Isn't it? That's what we're seeing here. Starting upgrade module. This makes the start of the game have asymmetry. Of course you'll want that. Look at these cards. Super iconography. Get your player booklet out. Shem Phillips. Galactic Cruise is a true masterpiece and labour of love from this talented group of new designers. His first time publisher, remember. Agenda cards looking very spreadsheet boring. More technology cards. Look at that. The shuttle showroom. That'd look great as a picture. Just get another artist, for goodness sake. Like, there's just not real innovation in these games. When you look at like the Ameritrash games that are doing Euros, Endless Winter, full of phenomenal art. Right? You've got Flow on Kickstarter. Very thematic Euro game with even 4X included. It is super innovative. And here, it's still in the same school as Vidal Licera games, which has this complacency of worker placements. And even though the board looks more interesting from E&O Tool, there's still lack of real art to push you into the theme. And because of that, the theme feels really threadbare at best. So you want to know who the AI is? She's called Rachel. They always have to put a name on the AI. This is a Vidal Licera thing. There is an easy, normal, and hard mode. More videos, plenty videos, lots of coverage out there. Now this one, he actually has a picture of the player board. Look how big it is. Dual layered. We didn't see that anywhere on the page. And the box doesn't look that big. Now, other languages, we'd absolutely love to have it in other languages. However, this is our first Kickstarter we're going to sing. This is the way. Where are the stretch goals? We have pre-stretched the game. That's not how it works. If this Kickstarter made $2 million, that's when it stretches. You could do stuff, but they're not doing it. Shipping. If you want the game, the 2 expansions and the deluxe bits, 134. Holy smoke. Even in the US, it's 18 and there's no tax. You have to pay the tax, right? Yeah, it says down there. During the pledge manager, after the campaign, we will be collecting sales tax in the USA. VAT will be collected additionally in the Pledge Manager for the EU. So when you put the VAT on this, it gets really expensive, doesn't it? You're looking at like $180. And surely you're going to be picking that up at retail for cheaper. Now, it says subsidised shipping. This is the way they're going to do the stretching. It's not a bad way of doing it, I guess. So every shipping is currently subsidised as $3 on all rates, and it will increase by an additional $1 for every 250k funding until we hit 1 million. So even if you get 1 million, you're going to just be $4 off. That's really slim, isn't it? All right. Now, if you look at the credits, 3 designers, 1 art designer, and the Kickstarter video and the page, the game trays, and the consultant. So really, it's a super small indie team. Whereas the guys at Fantasia, they have got an elite super team on their books. You know, they are equivalent to like an EA Games or Ubisoft. And this little indie team. So that's what I'm saying. I think I prefer my giant Euro games with theme and art all over them, pushing the Euro into the next place. You know? Endless Winter, you throw all the expansions from the Kickstarter, it gets heavier. But it's thematic, more theme. So for me, Galactic Cruise is sitting in a funny place. One, it's going to come to retail cheaper when you factor in shipping and tax. And secondly, if you really want an innovative, fresh and exciting Euro game, you go to Flow. That's on Kickstarter. It is genuinely more exciting than this. I mean, everything about Flow, all the Kickstarter updates is spectacular. And it's just unfortunate that I'm a snob and I want not just a great Euro, but I want art and components, big playmat. Whereas this is got this retailitus, is what I'm calling it. You know, it's not stretching it. It's part of the course that they basically wanted something to stand next to Vitel Lacera. That's what it is, and they've kind of modelled their game on a Vitel Lacera model and look. And for me, if you've got Endless Winter and Flow on your shelf, there's no room for Vitel Lacera, is there? Because you know, next to them games from Fantasia, and they're I don't know why they've produced a different company for Flow. It just stretches the brand. I don't know, it's weird. But what I'm trying to say is these look like last generation Euro games. The new generation is Endless Winter, and the next generation is Flow. That is how it is. So for me, this is looking already old, last generation. I'm happy with Endless Winter, and god damn it, I'm super excited for the next generation, which is Flow. That's my thoughts. But please, let me know your thoughts about this. Are you not interested in these big Ameritrash games from Fantasia? And are you solid on last generation's Euro games because they are your cup of tea 100%? Let me know down below. If you got this far in the video, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching. This is Kickstarter Radio 102.4. I'm your host, Lipstickpaddy. You take care, stay safe, and bye for now.